In today's world, we are more connected than ever before, but we are also more exposed than ever. Every click you make, every post you like, every form you sign, and every conversation you have online, it all leaves a trace. And what most people don't realize is just how far that trace can travel or how long it can remain. We live in a digital age where information moves faster than wisdom. It's an age where convenience often comes before caution, and where so many of us give away access without fully understanding what we're giving away. It's time we talked about being careful. Be careful with how your information is being handled. Be careful with how your confidentiality is being used. Because once information leaves your hands, you no longer control where it goes, who stores it, who shares it, or how it is interpreted. Think about it. What you share may travel much farther than you expect, and it can remain for much longer than you intend. A photo you thought was private. A message you thought was confidential. A document you signed without reading it carefully. A conversation you believed was protected. All of these things can be copied, saved, forwarded, archived, and sometimes taken completely out of context. Now, not everyone who asks for access has your best interest at heart. Some people ask politely. Some ask professionally. Some might ask under the guise of authority. Others might even use pressure. But here's the key thing to remember. Access does not always mean protection. Your personal details, your images, your voice, your thoughts, they are valuable. They can be stored, sold, misused, or even weaponized against you. And many of the systems we use every day are not designed to protect you. They're designed to collect data. Let's be really clear about something important. Privacy is not secrecy. Privacy does not mean you're hiding something wrong. It doesn't mean you're guilty of anything. Privacy does not mean you live in fear. Privacy is protection. Think of it this way. You lock your front door not because you read doing something illegal inside, but because you value what is inside your home. You protect your identity documents, like your passport or driver's license, not because you're ashamed of who you are, but because you understand their power and what could happen if they fell into the wrong hands. Your information is exactly the same. It's a part of you that deserves protection. So, how do we start protecting it? It begins with being mindful. Be mindful of where you sign. Be mindful of what you agree to. Be mindful of who you trust with your personal story. Take a moment to read before you click that accept button. We all do it, we scroll to the bottom and just click. But take that extra minute. Ask questions before you give your consent. And just pause for a second before you share something personal online. Because in so many ways, your information is your identity. It represents your story, your choices, your beliefs. It's about your family, your past, and your future. And once it's misused, it can be incredibly difficult, sometimes even impossible to fully take back control. This is why awareness matters so much. Awareness is power. When you are aware, you naturally slow down. When you are aware, you start to question things. When you are aware, you protect yourself without becoming paranoid. And this is where discernment comes into play. Discernment is safety. Just because something is labeled secure doesn't automatically mean it is. Not everything labeled confidential actually stays confidential. And let's be honest, not everyone who smiles at you is a safe person to trust. Discernment teaches you to separate what sounds good from what is actually wise. It's about looking beyond the surface. And caution, real, practical caution, is not fear. Caution is wisdom in action. Wisdom says, I don't need to share everything about my life. Wisdom says, I don't need to explain myself to every single person who asks. Wisdom says, I don't have to give access just because I'm asked to. Wisdom understands that trust has to be built over time. It's not something that can be demanded from you. We live in a world that constantly asks for more. More access, more data, more of you. In this environment, choosing to protect your information is a powerful act of self-respect. You are not being difficult. You are not being dramatic. You are not being uncooperative. You are being wise. You are valuing yourself. So from now on, try this. Take a moment before you post that picture or that status update. Take a breath before you sign that document. Take your time before you speak on a sensitive matter. Because once information is released into the world, you can't always control where it lands or who gets a hold of it. Guard your information as you would guard your name. Guard your privacy as you would guard your home. And guard your identity as you would guard your future. Because at the end of the day, awareness is your power, discernment is your safety, and caution is wisdom. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more content on living wisely in our modern world. Stay safe out there.